Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Hunter Munn, and this is more of Euro Truck Simulator 2. I am about to continue the news from when I was a moment ago, but I have moved on to the other side of town to pick up a delivery, and we are going to be going to the east, back through France. We are going to Clermont-Ferrand, and we are going to try and hit a bunch of places that we haven't hit already. You know, let's make a little side trip for Chivax, which I don't know about. Because it looks like there's a question mark there. Oh no. But then we'll go that way, but not that way. Well, what is happening? Alright. I don't think this is an urgent delivery. Never mind, maybe we'll get Servox later. Actually, it looks no. We're gonna make this a long trip. This is gonna be a long trip, everybody. How much does this add? Oh wait, hold on. We're doing a external contract, so it doesn't matter how much it adds. One of the benefits for going for the achievement situation. Okay, now this is telling us we're gonna go down here. So if we're gonna go down here, we're gonna hit this question mark. We're going to nab this question mark and turn around. Because we want to go up this road. Then we'll hit this question mark. Alright, this is going to be a longer trip. Oh, hold on. Gotta start the news. Just talking with Gaffer in the chat. You'll compare the book in Russian and English. If they are very different, I will read English. Yeah. Always try and, we were talking about 1984 on twitch.tv/HunterMun if you're watching later on YouTube. Okay. I always try and experience something in the... There's now a link in Streamlabs that allows me to tweet out the fact I got to 100 messages today in Restream. But in any event, I've never seen that before. We were talking about the differences in language, and in a propaganda sense, I was recommending 1984. 1984, and I would say if you just want a pure, fun propaganda movie, I also recommend Starship Troopers. Just putting that out there. Okay, clicking the button for the... Going back to the... Oh, hi, Captain Soja. We were just watching the news and doing Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Professional when serving his clients. He added that the subpoenas
I didn't realize that sound effect didn't come from Gaffer.
Identical, describing them as lengthy documents divided into sections and subsections. They cover issues related to alternate electors and election
we were talking about how
on December 14th and January
Gaffer
6th. Fundraising
is partially
Save America PAC,
taking advantage of knowing English as a Russian so that he can
but not the ensuing riot. The subpoenas require
take advantage of non-propaganda sources of information,
like Rudy Giuliani,
which I had not considered,
Eastman,
but
Sidney
totally makes
Powell,
sense.
And Bernie Carrick. So.
Okay, so look, two things here, Anna. First, on those fake electors investigation, that I don't want that to get buried, because there's great news in the quote that you just read, right? Because what I've been complaining about is January 6th committee in the House is focusing on.
Which reminds me, I need to find out if there's a 4K version of Starship Troopers.
Focusing on the people who broke into the Capitol, but those are the low-level.
If it's even been produced yet.
Soldiers. And that's not the
I should add that to
coup.
my
could have never held
gift list for
right? The real coup was
birthday and Christmas this year.
So the fact that this investigation involving all of these people who have been subpoenaed.
You are correct, Captain Soja. Phasmophobia has retaken the lead
okay, that's
in the current poll.
Dogs, and that's going after the actual coup
so,
itself, which could have
I don't know if you have it,
if they
but I am trying to gather together a group of friends preliminarily,
back to Glenn for a second.
Including Gaffer,
I'm got no interest in
friends and people on the server to see if people might want to play.
I think it's a false choice, okay? But Glenn shows no evidence of Biden.
It is on a list of games you want to play? All right, well then.
Says, oh, can you believe that he's investigating people?
if you want to join us, if it in fact wins, or probably if it also makes second place.
I mean, if you're doing it illegally without a warrant,
clearly there's a demand for it.
Taking away people's civil liberties, then I'm on your side. I don't want anybody doing that, Republican or Democrat. But he has no evidence of that. He just says, "Can you believe he's investigating people in America?" Yeah, that's called law enforcement.
I took French in high school, and French is a very interesting language, but I didn't know at the time that I had audio dyslexia, so I assume that audio dyslexia has made it more difficult for me to learn new languages.
But, look, he said it. He's joined Rumble, Peter Thiel's
oh, excellent. And he said he's getting all right, I'll keep you posted, Captain Sojan. Also, I mean, just keep in mind that next month is October, so there's a decent chance it may go on sale for Halloween, right?
All of a sudden,
like sometime in that time frame.
In defending every
Not that you don't have $14. I'm just saying.
Trump does, and only attacking
one of the games doing really well in the poll I don't actually own, but commonly goes on sale around Halloween for $5.
Donald Trump called Democrats fascists. Our reporter Matthew Sheffield found a clip of him doing that, surrounded by the military, in 2020. Yet nobody says it. Does Tucker Carlson come out or Anderson Cooper come out and say, "What do you mean? Trump said worse." It's right there. It's right there.
Oh, for anybody watching, like, this is trigger warning for the news.
So that's
if you're watching later on the VOD, this is for Tuesday, the 13th of September, 2022. What is currently playing.
Discourse in this country at this point. I mean, we might as well just call it the United States of bad faith. Like,
and Metger is currently playing Stellaris, totally which I've been thinking about a lot recently.
Biden accurately
also, Captain Soji, I mean, you'll be working for a portion of it, but my intention is, in case you missed the announcement, on Friday and Saturday to be playing Cult of the Lamb.
Speak the truth on these issues. Well, let's move on to one more story.
Somebody is getting it for me for my birthday.
But it has a unfortunate Sean Hannity.
I don't know who that person is right now. It depends.
Sean Hannity was attempting to defend Donald Trump and the multiple investigations that he has faced.
I mentioned it because it will have Twitch interaction, as I've said a couple of times.
Joe Biden and the Democrats for allegedly engaging
people will be able to make followers. They'll be able to pray to my cult, to my god.
Prior to him,
and they'll be able to buff and debuff me on runs and stuff like that, to the best of my knowledge. I haven't done it yet, so I'm just... I think those are some of the things that will happen. And one of my favorite parts of the game is that the Twitch integration doesn't require that I run an extra extension. It's actually built into the game. So that's really cool.
The Emoluments Clause investigation from the House Oversight Committee, a House Ways and Means investigation into Trump's taxes, another House investigation into Trump's hotel lease, another House investigation into foreign gift disclosures, a D.C. probe into Trump's inauguration fundraising, another similar investigation from the District of New York and the Eastern District of New York, and from New Jersey's Attorney General. One impeachment investigation into a regular phone call with Ukraine, a second impeachment investigation
a regular phone
into
call.
January 6th.
And let me just note that the investigations and rulings pertaining to Trump and his bad behavior were not listed there, including the fact that he defrauded students with Trump University and was ordered to pay a multi-million-dollar fine, tens of millions of dollars, in fact, to the defrauded students. The list goes on and on. But I just thank you, Sean, for helping us remember all of the investigations that were conducted against Donald Trump because there was reason to believe that he engaged in criminal activity, criminal behavior. Now, I'm sure the point is, well, I mean, a lot of these investigations didn't turn into much, right? Yeah, I mean, especially with the impeachment,
looking over
it
chat.
Didn't matter. It didn't matter how
Gavin
much
says,
evidence was
sometimes I
presented.
think that
His lackeys
I
in the
talk
Senate
with
were never
native
gonna
speakers
convict
more
him,
than my English
regardless of
teacher.
how clear the evidence was.
I remember when
think
she
we
asked
see
me something that was fun.
Playing out when it comes to the investigation into how he mishandled
I mean,
top secret and
I've certainly heard of it
classified
happening.
documents.
So
one of the ways to learn a language
Anna,
is
didn't
to
this remind you were saying
be
that
dropped
this
into it,
morning
and if
of
you
the
actively seek out
time that Sean Hannity put up,
people to
oh, look at all these progressive priorities,
understand, like listen to lots of English speaking, like
Isn't it
movies
disgusting?
or television
Everybody's
shows or
Wait,
Twitch
that
streamers or
actually
whatever.
sounds pretty good.
Like
No,
you
Hannity
give
loves
yourself
BBLs,
mental
right? It's
practice.
Look at all these wonderful
Hold on.
policies that would materially improve your life.
That's
yeah,
gas,
you're right.
but not sleeping. No, it is sleeping.
Education, student loan debt forgiveness, Medicare for all, single payer health care, like all of that stuff polls really, really well. But it goes back to the point that you make often, Cenk, which is the media is entirely disconnected from the reality of what Americans want. And that includes Americans across the board. I think that's part of the reason why Republican candidates were kind of
I came to a stop, and so I'm
blindsided
dropping
by
some
the
frames. That makes
backlash
total
they
sense.
received after Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court. They genuinely thought, like, no, this is perfect. I mean, this is all we do. We engage in the culture war, right? So all we need to do is keep engaging in the culture war, and that's how we win elections. Oops, but it turns out that people don't want to have rights stripped away from them. And so if you're a politician that's only paying attention to corporate media, whether it be right-wing corporate media or just run-of-the-mill corporate media like MSNBC and CNN, you're going to be disconnected from what the reality is on the ground in your district or in your state.
Yeah. So look,
Okay, we're
there
gonna
are
make
two
it the
more
next
quick things on
morning,
this.
and we're
So,
gonna do the usual.
Hannity's main excuse for Trump
We're
is,
making money
look at these
all the
list
time
of
now.
crimes, but remember, for half of them, we let him off. Us Republicans did. So we wouldn't let him get convicted after overwhelming evidence of impeachment presented during impeachment. I'm not sure that that's the win you think it is. That just means you're the getaway driver in his crimes. But also partly Democratic incompetence. And this is why we worry about Democratic incompetence. Because, look, we told you, if this guy commits dozens of crimes and you don't put him away, you're giving a giant green light to the Republicans. Break as many laws as you like. And by the way, later they'll brag like Hannity is. Ha ha, look at all these laws we get to break, right?
Man,
and he's kind of rubbing it in their face.
so many
And
garages
that's 'cause
today.
Democrats barely laid
we
a
might be
glove
able to
on the
make
guy.
progress on this
And
achievement.
prosecutors have been, wetting their pants, worried. Oh my God, why is a former president? It's Trump. What are we? Dude, you convicted his co-conspirator Michael Cohen on one of these crimes. Just look. Why does he get to commit 30 crimes? It's insane, and brag about it on Fox News. Co-conspirator
Let's see
went
here.
to jail. Why wasn't he tried? And it's because the Manhattan DA is a giant coward.
Suzanne with
But a lot of
fragility,
these
and
prosecutors are
now we save up
cowards
for the
and
next
elitists,
warehouse.
By the way. You break those same laws as Trump did, you will be in massive trouble. If you stole national security secrets and brought top secret documents to your basement, you would be in jail for so long. You might never get out. But they just keep letting him get away with everything. But one last thing. Why? Why do Republicans want a con?
Man, people are
I mean, the guy's
booking
been
it
a
on this
criminal
highway.
his whole life. We've told you dozens of laws he broke well before he became president. All of the undocumented immigrants he hired, and all the insurance fraud.
Just so you know, Gaffer,
tax
Captain
fraud,
Soja is
the list
often
goes
just
on
got
and
the stream
on
on in the
and
background
right?
after he says hello,
So Republicans
and
are
has to keep track of his kids and stuff. So
except Sean Hannity just let him know.
it is the middle of the week also. So
but a lot of them do know.
if he's not putting him to bed, he might be helping him with homework. No, probably don't have homework. I think they're just
laws. I'd be like, why don't we just pick another progressive that's as
young.
progressive he has?
You know, I probably
not a
shouldn't get
lifelong
specific.
criminal? Like, why is that hard? Why is that an issue? And it's because they want a con man. If your position was oppressing,
You're very
others
upset when you found out that Fox
freedom,
News is not about
what do you
Fox
want? Someone
News.
telling
At
the
that
truth,
point,
'cause it ain't
at some
freedom.
point, I really thought
Right?
so.
You want someone telling you pretty
Whoops,
little
whoops,
lies.
whoops, whoops.
And if you want someone telling you little big
Wow, that
lies,
was
then Trump's the perfect guy.
that was terrible.
And that's why Republican voters pick.
I almost messed everything up there.
When we come back from the break,
yes.
we've got a lot
It
more
is
news
neither
to get
about
to,
Fox nor
including
Fox's
Lindsey
nor
Graham's
news. So you are
proposal for
correct.
a
It is
federal
quite the
abortion ban. I'll give you
misnaming
the
convention.
Details on that. And later we'll talk about a hateful pastor who got caught engaging in some pretty shady illicit activity. That and more coming right up.
Fox News is like the propaganda for
All right, you
the
guys know
Republican
aspirations
Conservative
of all
Party
right? I mean, these guys are
situation.
super progressive.
MSNBC
They don't-
is
when you put
the
your money into a financial institution, everyone
is the
else
liberal,
uses it for private
centrist,
prisons, fossil fuel companies, gun
Democratic
manufacturers.
voice,
Aspiration doesn't do any of
and
that.
CNN
It lets
is
you erase your carbon footprint.
equality bias
Um,
between the two
So
parties.
look into all of it.
But
super
it's
easy
trying to
do.
become right wing. So I don't know what's up with that.
Aspiration.com/TYT. I think
They got a
you'll
new
absolutely love
corporate
it.
head.
Aspiration.com/TYT.
So
all right.
not a
We're
lot
gonna
of great
YouTube
knowledge to
numbers.
gain from any of those locations, really.
Marsha Jones writes in, Kavanaugh was on Ken Starr's legal team. Correct, he was. So that's the kind of guy Kavanaugh is. I forget if Gizmo was also on it. What were his buddies? Like, Gizmo and I were pounding beers and roping women and I forget what they were. Anyways,
Did he say roping women?
Gazandi writes in a few
Because
months
that
ago,
seems
there
like a
was
very
this dog
PG
that
way to
stung,
say what he
in the
actually
mouth
did.
by a bee, and it kind of looked like Glenn Greenwald.
Oh my god, that is my favorite tweet of all time. Okay, especially because the person who tweeted it, I think they took it down, which makes me very sad. But he wrote, I always wanted to say this, but Glenn Greenwald looks like a dog that aided a bee. So he used the word aided, and I just really appreciated that. It just
It was
added
fun.
touch. Yeah.
Yes. Well, funny's funny. Margarita on
Funny
the
is funny.
he would say, domestic terrorism. What? It's taking away civil liberty. Okay. Margarita on the Rocks writes in, I have two sisters
Margarita
that are
on the
nurses.
Rocks, I like it.
Neither has worked in hospitals for that reason. One works for a private clinic, and the other is a school nurse. So, yes, that's definitely an issue. Ginger Sasquatch says, whoever would have guessed that healthcare for profit would end up going horribly wrong.
Yeah, really.
By the way,
That reminds me
Prisons
of
for
some.
Profit.
Oh, another one that you
Prisons
might
are
want to watch,
disaster.
Gaffer, that is occasionally entertaining.
Why?
Some more
People
news on
for
YouTube.
profit. Okay, so
Highly
they're
recommend.
taking away your freedom.
Longer
to make money.
videos,
The government
longer
should run
videos,
that,
but
and
like
obviously, healthcare insurance
entertaining.
should be the government. Every other nation agrees, but our corporate media will lie to you 24/7 to make sure that doesn't happen. Stellar Vision says, "Hey, a TYT fam. Hey, right back at you." All right, we go to our members. Gabby Marita says, I love how right-wingers love to scaremonger about single-payer healthcare based on the idea that patients will have to suffer wait times, and then turn around and totally ignore the long wait times and staffing issues in our current system. 1,000,000,000%. I talked about it on Old School last night. tyt.com/join. I mean, I got to get my knee checked out. It's been like 4 or 5 months. I get lines. Our private insurance has line after line after line, and they deny coverage. Who are they kidding? Every anchor on,
All right, I can see that green
cable
arrow
news
from
is a
further
goddamn
away.
liar. I mean, the way that they torpedoed Medicare for all.
Hey,
of
Captain
it,
Soldier, if you're still up.
giant, ridiculous lies to
Al?
serve their
I did not
drug
see that that
company
had a thing that was down, and I just
advertisers,
ran
health
straight
insurance
into it.
company advertisers was disgusting.
I deserve that. Ahem.
CNN,
Captain Soldier, if you're still out
even
there,
more so
is that
than Fox News.
monitor still
All
up for
right,
grabs?
Nurse Dragon said, I stand with my Minnesota brothers and sisters. Understaffing
The
does
one that's
affect,
like a little bigger, but
PT
also
care running
1080.
as fast as I can. I finished at
I've
9
kind of
o'clock
been sort of
med
making
pass
room
after
on this
11:30
desk where I think it
PM.
will fit, if it's still up for grabs. If you can hear my voice.
Jank and Anna with you guys, but also Corey Beasley and Deidre Marshall. So those are American heroes that just hit the join button below on YouTube and became Young Turks members and help us do this show and help us spread truth.
Toll pass at 36 kilometers per hour. Well,
tyt.com/join.
You see,
Come
some
here.
of the toll
All right,
places
Well, let's
Some
get
of the toll
into,
places, Gaffer,
some bad moves by the Republican
don't
Party,
have
which
an
I
arm
like,
that goes down.
because they're hurting
And I
themselves.
saw
But
that lane was
Senator
open,
Lindsey
and I
Graham
thought
has
the arm
decided
wasn't
to
up, so I was just going to go through it
propose a
fast,
federal abortion
and I smashed
ban.
the crap
An
out of my
abortion
truck.
ban that
So
would,
I deserve that
prevent women from being able
for
to
not
get an abortion
paying
past
attention
15
/ not being able
weeks.
to see things.
Now,
But that's the thing is, like, I'm
proposal is
playing on
slim
a little
details because there's a lot we don't know about
20,
how this
19-inch
proposal would work should it ever
screen.
pass into law.
It's pretty
But
small.
here's what we do know about it. As I mentioned, it
And
would ban abortions past 15 weeks.
It does make it
federally.
more difficult
So
with the
if,
resolution I have
let's
to
say,
play
a
the
state
game
like
at for streaming,
California has legalized abortion,
to be able
well,
to
the
properly
federal law would
see
supersede
things in the
state
distance
law,
clearly.
and that would be a disaster. Now,
Depending on where you're
here's what
watching
else
this
we
stream, you
don't
might have a
know,
better
actually.
view
We
of
don't
the
know whether
game than
this
I
would
do.
nullify state laws in red states like Texas that have even more restrictive abortion
I think you're watching
bans
from
in
your phone,
place.
though.
That's unclear. And we also don't know if
You don't watch
his proposal
news
is ever
only
gonna
if
make
needed.
any exceptions for
I'm a happy
women
kid
who
who
might
simply
die
enjoys
as a
life.
result
Life.
of a pregnancy that has
Blissful ignorance.
complications,
I
or
understand
in
that
cases
gift.
of rape or incest, but it doesn't seem like he has spent any time really thinking
I
about
have
this.
learned,
It
Gaffer,
seems
if
to
I
be
do not
a
pay attention to the
political
news,
stunt,
the
which
news
doesn't
will
seem to make much
somehow
sense
end up in my
considering
life.
You literally have Republican candidates backing off of their anti-abortion
So I've gotten into the
stances
habit
because they
of
realized, oh, my polling isn't
listening to the
good,
news, even
there's
if
a lot of backlash in response to
even
the
if it starts to
reversal of
disinterest
Roe.
me, even if
And by the
I'm
way, Mitch
no
McConnell
longer
has
paying
already
fully
stated in
attention,
response to Lindsey
even if
Graham's
it's
proposal
a topic
that
I
he
find
will not do away
uncomfortable,
with the Senate
I find it better
filibuster,
to be informed
to get
and a
this
little
type of bill
put
passed.
out than to
Now,
not be
previously, I
informed.
should note that
Though,
Lindsey
as I say
Graham
to
seemed to
you
think
and
that
anybody else watching on
abortion was
stream,
a states'
if you
rights
want me
issue.
to stop listening to the
But
news
today he
because
made it
it's
abundantly
bothering
clear
you,
that he
because I'm
doesn't
listening to
actually
it,
think
then
that.
just
And I
ask
wanted
and
to
I
give
will.
you, this next video to kind of juxtapose.
I mean, the poor people on
what
YouTube,
a
they don't
disgusting, filthy
get as
liar
much
he
of a
happens
say.
to be.
But hey, if you listen to my voice YouTube, you can just.
I think states should decide the issue of marriage, and
Oh my
states should
God,
decide
speaking
the
of
issue
news,
of abortion.
what
I
is
think we
Lindsey
should
Graham doing?
Have a law at the federal level.
Lindsey Graham is one of
that
my
would
state
say
senators, and
after
he's on the news
15
right now.
weeks,
So god damn it,
no abortion on
fucking
demand.
Lindsey. Forewarned is
So the
forearmed.
second half of
That sounds
video
right.
was from his press conference announcing this proposal today. And luckily, there were some reporters there who dared to ask decent questions, including one reporter who's like, yo, what's up with this 180 on the whole states' rights issue? Let's watch.
Shivox, out of the middle of nowhere.
The repeal of Roe v. Wade would mean that every state will decide if abortion is legal and on what terms. And you said that that was
Oh god,
constitutional
I almost ran directly into that arm.
of dealing with it.
I didn't see it.
And here you are introducing a nationwide 15-week
Yeah.
limit. I'm wondering how you square those two statements.
Yeah, how do you square that
After
circle,
they
Lindsey?
introduced the bill to define who they are. I thought it'd be nice to introduce a bill to define who we are. So the Democrats wanted a national standard, and their standard was basically abortion up to the time of birth, putting you in the Iran-Syria club. So now we're going to talk
Right.
about what the nation
But
should
some
be
toll
like.
booths are auto. They've got little like cards in
Total
your window and stuff
brainworms.
like
I
that.
mean, Lindsey Graham, who
I think they're more
hasn't
populous in
met a
America
war
than
he
they are
didn't
in
love,
Eurotruck.
can't help but
Shivox
somehow
nuclear power
tie
plant.
the abortion debate
But
to Syria
those you don't
and
have to
Iran.
slow down for. You just drive through.
But
I mean,
more
any more than you
importantly,
slow down
Lindsey, we know who you are. You're a
reasonably, but
groveling,
like
pathetic,
you get dinged
weak
automatically, so you don't
politician
have to like.
who
There's not an arm,
sucks
is what
up
I'm saying.
to
There's not an arm in the
anyone,
way.
including politicians you used to criticize, like Donald Trump, if it means that it will help
French
your
flag,
political
European
career.
Union flag,
That's what
and
a little bitch
all right.
does, not what a leader does. So we know what you are, Lindsey Graham. And by the way,
Yes, we know what you
keep
are,
pushing
Lindsey
for
Graham.
this because it is not popular, and I'll give you those numbers in just a moment. But Cenk, why don't you jump in?
Yeah, so I kind of love this because every poll is showing that they're, and by the way, elections that have actually happened are showing that they're getting killed on this, the Republicans are. And it is largely because women are rising up and saying, no.
Yeah,
I-
overturning Roe
I'm
v.
gonna vote
Wade
against
might
you
actually
because you're
lead
taking my
to
freedom away. And you're trying to control my body, and I
like
vote
the
hell
final
no,
loss
right?
for
I
Republicans.
couldn't love it anymore.
But I
So,
am
even
not
the
getting my
Republicans
hopes up.
realize it. So today they were panicking about why the hell's Lindsey Graham
They've
doing
been the
this?
least popular
By the way,
party
one side theory,
for
maybe he's trying to throw the elections. I don't
20,
know.
30 years now.
But then he wouldn't get as
Uh,
much war, so that doesn't make
without
any sense.
argument, like they
I
just
have
have
a side
been.
theory that I'll share with you in just a
But at
moment,
the same
that
time,
I love side theories.
They've rigged a
Can't
lot
wait.
of the
First,
way
let me show you the Republican panic.
the
Shelly
system runs, so
Morito
they
is
keep
a
getting
Republican from West
elected
Virginia.
because they're
She's the other
leaning on the
Republican from
scale.
West Virginia.
So you can't just win with
Manchin actually
51%
called
of the
himself
vote.
a
You got to win
Republican.
with like 63% of the
he
vote.
said, she said, I'm not sure what he's thinking,
All right.
referring to Lindsey Graham, but I don't think there'll be a rallying around that concept.
Okay, we were
I don't
going like
think there's much of
34.
an appetite to go in that direction. Isn't this funny though? Let's just note, the Republicans, my whole life, like, we're pro-life, we're gonna end abortion. The minute that it happens, and they can, the Supreme Court allows it. They'll go, no appetite for that. Oh, we're so full. Oh, we're so full on tax cuts from the rich. Just don't have any room for abortion, which we pretended to be in favor of. See, corporate Republicans, like corporate Democrats, are pretending about their agenda. They've never meant any of it. It was always to get more tax cuts for rich and corporations.
Gaffer, do you
but
read
more
much?
on the internal drama?
Like,
Mitch McConnell, this is one of
do you
my
read-
reports, Guardian reports.
I,
says,
I,
"You have no
okay,
intention
I've
to
written a
use
story,
up or
the first 6
using it,
chapters of a story.
Right now,
I think it needs some
before the
work. It's like 10 years
after
old at this
elections,
point,
we-
but I read it the other night and I was like,
in other words, he's like, Lindsey, what
this
are you
still
doing?
needs some work,
We don't talk about
but it's
things that are
not as bad as I thought it
popular
would
with
be
American
after this
people
long.
before an election.
And I'm
All of our
curious
ideas
to
are
get like
deeply
new
unpopular.
people
Afterwards, we foisted on them.
perspective.
So that's how it normally goes. And
It's kind of a
finally,
sci-fi thing.
Lindsey Graham
It has an anthropomorphic wolf
earlier
as the main
had a
character.
softer version of this bill, which was still a disaster. It would have ended all abortions after 20 weeks. It would have excluded rape and incest. This version is 15 weeks and does not exclude rape and incest. So he made it more
do not
radical,
understand me.
more
All right, I
extreme,
fumbled
more
it. That's my bad.
unpopular. It is
Let me try that
weird
again.
thing to do. For a guy
I
who
have
has
written a
been
story.
around politics for a couple of decades.
I've written the beginning of a
What's
story.
your fun side theory?
What was supposed to be
Okay,
a
so
long
bear with
novel.
me. I'm gonna
I've written
try to
6
contextualize
chapters.
the argument
I
I'm gonna
wrote
make
it
so you understand
about
my
10
line
years
of
ago.
thinking here. So
And
it
I'm
is
thinking
weird
about going
that
back
he's
to
doing
it
this,
to
because
write
Lindsey
more,
Graham only
and I would
seems
be
to care
looking
about Lindsey
for,
Graham. He cares about political power. He's willing to do everything, including
new
get down on
opinions?
his knees and fillet Donald Trump in order to
And
maintain
you're
political
present,
power. I
so
don't buy for a
I thought I would
second that
ask.
he's blind
Because
to
you're in the
fact
Discord
that
server
polling
and stuff like that, and I could
suggests
link it there
that
later.
most Americans, including Republican voters, do not like having rights taken away from them. In fact, let me give you one of those recent polls, and this is actually a more the polling here is actually lower than other polls that we've seen that show that upward of 70% of Americans do not want to restrict abortion. But
That was like a
according
stop
to this,
sign.
Kaiser poll,
Okay.
61%.
I
That is the
will-
percentage of Americans
well,
who
actually-
want states to guarantee access to abortion.
Who caught me for
according to a
speeding?
Kaiser Family Foundation poll last month.
Oh, it must have
The
been
poll also
it must have been a
notes that
camera.
65% of Americans disapprove of the Supreme
'Cause I didn't
Court
hear any
overturning
cup
of Roe v.
sounds.
Wade. So I give you that information
What the hell?
to note that Lindsey Graham knows
Curse
about this. He
you.
knows that there are GOP candidates that are now completely backing off of their anti-abortion stance because it's hurting them in their attempts to win elections. The whole filibuster thing from Manchin, where he's like, no, we're not going to scrap the filibuster. to
I
pass
kind of
this
fumbled the
bill."
start because I was stuck.
That
It's
gave
a
me
it's a
little
science
bit
fiction
of a
story
clue.
that involves time
I'm
travel,
wondering if it's
starring an
Republicans
anthropomorphized
realizing
wolf
that there
character.
is some possibility that Democrats not only hold on to the Senate after the midterms, but they could even gain a few seats, right? Especially when you're talking about some of the stronger candidates, like Fetterman, for instance. I'm wondering if they're trying
Well,
to send
I-
a message to Democrats.
I
"Hey,
reread
when
a
you guys
story I
actually
started writing 10
have
years ago,
more of
and
you in the
I
Senate
thought it
and you
held up
try to
okay.
do away
So
with
I
the
actually wrote
filibuster, understand
what I'm
what's at
asking
stake."
you to
Like, is that what they're
perhaps
trying to do here? Because otherwise, it really
read.
makes no sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. I'm going to vote no on your theory, although we did have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because
And to be fair to me, I haven't been paying as close attention to the electoral politics as you have. So my theory on the Senate might be totally inaccurate.
no, that part I agree with. I think the Democrats have a pretty good chance of holding on to the Senate and maybe even picking up a couple of seats. It's just that I think the Mitch
That is a
McConnells and the Lindsey Graham
reasonably
school
long
are
train.
perfectly aware that the Democrats aren't going to get rid of the filibuster. By the way, McConnell says he's even to pass this, he's not going to get rid of the filibuster because they're on the same team. They're on the on Team Donor. So the donors love the filibuster. The senators love the filibuster. It protects them from having to pass anything that is economically popular. So neither side wants to get rid of the filibuster to pass this. So I don't think that Lindsey Graham is goading or tempting or anything like that. It's possible, Anna, that the answer is much simpler. Occam's razor. He's just going to use it to fundraise, and he's a
Interested in reading
greasy
everything?
politician,
Okay.
and it's very easy.
I
thing to
wonder
fundraise
if
off of.
it will
He
be
thinks
more
he might
difficult
make a
to
lot of
read
money.
because it's not a
Yeah,
professionally
maybe.
written
You
piece
might
as
be
far
right
as like
about
your
that.
English is concerned.
But one other thing I wanted to just quickly go
Was reading
to
that inspired you
a
to
video
roleplay?
that I
Ooh,
shared with the audience.
What
on
do
a
you
day when
roleplay,
you were
Gaffer?
gone, Jank, and it features
I
a
still
gubernatorial
roleplay.
candidate
I
in the
do
state of
voice chat
Minnesota,
and Roll20 on
who-
Sundays and have been doing it
He's
for a few
Republican
years
who
now,
had a
but
very
I have
extreme
LARPed
anti-abortion
and
stance,
I have
then
done text-based
realized,
roleplay
after the reversal of
for many
Roe,
years,
he saw a massive dip in his
more
in the
than
polling
20.
for his support and decided to do a 180. So here is Scott Jensen, a Republican gubernatorial candidate in Minnesota who went from being an anti-abortion extremist to putting out this political ad.
I've delivered
Uh-oh.
500 babies in my career. Abortion is divisive, and Tim Walz is weaponizing the issue. In Minnesota, it's a protected constitutional right,
What-
and no governor
what the
can
hell?
change that. And I'm not running to do that.
I don't know if you guys can
I'm
see
running
he's
because
holding
we
a
need
live
safe
baby
streets,
for this ad,
excellent schools, parental rights, and more money in the
or a
family
very
budget.
sophisticated
That's
doll
what
from
I'll fight
the
for.
level
Let's
of image I'm
focus
looking at.
on the issues that matter.
What the hell?
Should we focus on the issues that matter, Scott? Should we?
No, I mean,
love it.
no, that was hilarious. That was one of the funniest ads I've ever seen.
Oh,
First of all, this is classic Republic.
what do they call it?
Classic, right? Like, I'm against abortion.
So freeform.
Abortion's
You're doing
terrible.
freeform roleplay.
Oh, it's not polling well? Oh,
It's
no
not like
babies,
in a
I
role
love
play
these
system,
babies, abortion,
you're
what's the big
role playing
deal?
with friends?
I mean, come on, the way he's holding that baby.
or
I mean,
in communities
look,
or what have you.
no, I mean,
Gotcha.
it's funny, but let's also note
That's
that it's
basically
kinda
how I
sick
started.
to use
Yes.
a baby as a prop in your political ad, especially when you're for taking away.
Just
the
putting it
rights of
out there,
women,
the
and
Werewolf
then
the
you're, like,
Apocalypse
pretending that you're
roleplay
some
system
caregiver,
does in fact have
and that you've always
Kitsune
cared about them.
as
No,
one of the
no, you were against
races
them
you could play
a
as.
second ago
That's
before you
that's
saw the
Fox.
polling.
That's
What a
Werefoxes.
greasy politician. I'm
Just putting that
surprised
out
the
there.
baby didn't
No
slide
reason.
out of
Just
his
saying.
pants.
God, I know, and using an infant like that as a prop for your political ad. I mean, you can expect anything from GOP candidates these days. Anyway, that does it for the first hour, but stick around because in the second hour of the show, we'll share a story of a bigoted pastor who got caught engaging in illicit behavior. He was a very naughty boy. And later, we'll share a story of a disgusting
No
cop
skip, just everything.
who
Every day they gathered and
basically,
5
there's
people.
evidence that he
play
groped a
skits?
teenager, and
Sure.
he's not facing any criminal charges for it.
I
We'll
get
share
you.
that and more coming up in the second hour. Don't miss it.
I'd probably still be doing that if I had a group to like. If I felt like it wasn't like time I could be actually writing to make something that would make me some money. Lamonges discovered. Bon Voyage 23 of 31. I don't know that one. Whoops. But I do have to start the next recording. Why I typed they? I don't see they. You like why I type they, but I do not see they. What they? Alright. Next hour from yesterday.
Back on the Young Turks. Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian with you guys. News plus fun forward.
All right. Well, this next story actually is fun because it shows you how religious leaders tend to be massive hypocrites. So,
I mean, they do.
beside
That's
me,
true.
you are seeing a photo of a hateful pastor who also happens to be
That
a
person
massive
clearly hit
hypocrite
me.
because following the disastrous mass shooting at the Pulse nightclub, which of course was a gay nightclub, he decided to say they deserved it because it was a gay nightclub, so innocent people decided to die. He then turned around and recently resigned as the pastor of a specific church that's been labeled a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center because he engaged in illicit activity. What was that illicit activity? Well, let's get into it.
Hey, Volvo
So,
truck dealership.
His name is Donnie Romero. Again, he was the pastor at a
It was your fault you were in the
church where he
second lane?
preached all sorts of
Look,
hateful
man,
anti-LGBTQ
I get how roundabouts
nonsense.
work, single lane
And, he
roundabouts,
said
but
things
like,
these
I have to watch
50
instructional
sodomites,
videos to understand
meaning
how
the victims
multi-lane
of the Pulse
roundabouts work.
nightclub
I don't get
shooting,
it.
are all perverts and pedophiles.
If you wanna
They're
make an
the
attempt
scum
at
of the
explaining to
earth,
me
and
how
the
a
earth is
multi-lane
better place
roundabout works,
now
I am
that I'll take it,
willing to
and I'll take it
listen.
a step further. I'll pray to God like I did this
I
morning.
think I was supposed to be
and
in
I
the
will
left lane the
again
whole time, but
tonight
I don't know
that
when
God
you're
will
supposed to get
finish
out of the way
job
of the right
that
lane.
Batman started.
Like, I don't know how that works.
Okay,
That's a pastor. Yeah, go ahead.
Anna, so first of all, American Taliban, we've been saying it all along, and so was happy that that guy killed all those gay people. So it's already disgusting. You actually don't need it anymore. But I want to read the next quote. This is his admission of what he did.
Yes.
And
Like,
by the way,
what is
remember,
the-
any public
what is
admission,
the roundabout
especially from a
entrance
hypocrite
procedure
like this, is probably
for
the tip
2
of the
lanes?
iceberg, for one
And
thing,
exit.
Okay.
I guess the exit
Right,
procedure
so
is
here's
probably
the
the one
quote.
I screwed up
I
more.
went to Jacksonville, and I went to a casino, and I was drinking.
Right lane is
Girls
for the
there that
immediate
were,
turn.
prostitutes. And I
Left
committed
lane is
adultery
for
on my wife.
going,
Multiple
or
times.
right lane is
I
for
drank and
going
gambled
in a 4-lane
multiple
junction,
times.
going
I
right
even
and going
smoked weed.
straight. Left lane
I
is for
love
going
how that's
straight
like the even part.
in the
Like,
in the
oh,
left
massive
lane,
adultery
or left,
occurs
or
everywhere.
U-turning.
This guy's a pastor, judging
But
other
as far as,
people's
like,
lives. He's like, "Oh, I'm drinking and
I just try not to enter
pouring
in a
literally,
roundabout
etc." And he's
when
like, "And I even smoked
another
weed."
vehicle is there if I can help it. But when it's super traffic like that, it's a crapshoot. I don't know what to do.
Before you did any of this stuff.
Yeah, and
I just think
note that
he should have had the wherewithal to see that I was already
Sex workers
turning
work.
and come to a
and in
stop so as not to
places,
hit me.
in this
So as a
country,
person,
including, you know,
I think it was his fault,
in
or her
Nevada,
fault,
some
or
parts
their
of
fault.
Nevada, it is legal and regulated, and it should be the case all throughout the country. And so, yeah, I don't have a problem with him having sex, paying for sex with sex workers, I do.
Oh,
have a
no,
problem
I brought
with
about a
Jim
paragraph.
Wall's wife. I mean, it's none of my business.
1 second, I
right?
need to
I
take
don't
a
think
right
it's
up ahead.
anybody's business, but I definitely
Okay.
cannot support that.
Gaffer says,
But you're
the
right,
right
Jake. I
lane
mean, I love how he
is
lists
only
all
needed
these
to
terrible
exit
things,
the
and then
roundabout.
he goes to, and I
Okay.
even smoked weed. And I think you're right when you
If
say
you
that
want
it's
to
the
move
tip of the
out,
iceberg.
you
I don't
change
think
lanes
that
to
it
the
stops
right
there.
while still in the
I would be
roundabout.
shocked if that
You
was
change
all
lanes
true.
in the roundabout.
There's no way this guy is admitting
That
to
driver
sleeping with
wanted to
several
exit
prostitutes outside
at
of
the
his marriage,
next
if it
exit,
isn't
and
way
he may
worse.
be in the right
Okay.
lane. Well, he
And
was in the right
so,
lane.
Look, I'm surprised they were with women, if I'm being honest.
But roundabouts aren't.
And
None
But
of
they
that
aren't
is
big enough for you to
clarified, by the
change
way.
lanes in the
By
middle of the
way, yeah,
roundabout.
it's
What do
not
you?
at all
You just stay in the
clarified.
middle
I will
lane if
be
you can't get
surprised
out?
If it turns out it's
Like, what do you do exactly?
And because a lot of this is usually driven by self-hatred. So keep it at home, brother. You hate yourself. That's your problem, not my problem. And it's a free country, right? You do all of this stuff and you pay for process. I don't care at all, right? But we're not the moralizing ones. You are, right? But remember, he didn't just say that he didn't like gay people and they were immoral. He was happy that they were dead, that they were killed, murdered, right? So if
Right,
we were
'cause
doing
he's a
the
bad
equivalent,
person.
we would
Discovered a
say,
new
like,
viewpoint.
Oh, this guy is deeply immoral. We wish somebody
your
would
case,
murder him. Now, we
you have
would
to
never say
stop
that,
and
'cause
wait
that's
for it to pass after that.
That's nuts. But when a so-called
Rebuild and
pastor
leave.
says it, everybody's like, no, it's okay. It's religion. No, it's not.
Wait,
okay.
I thought
He's a
I thought
terrible,
one of the
immoral
points of a
person.
roundabout is that
If
you
believe
don't
even
stop in a
1% of what he
roundabout.
believes about gay people, you're a
So you're
terrible,
saying I
immoral
should have
person.
stopped?
Okay, so I want to
thought
talk
you were
a
supposed to
little bit
not
about
stop.
this church as well, and some of the other individuals associated with it, because it is an
Stopping it at-
absolutely hateful church.
No, not stop.
founded
Wait,
by hateful
what?
People.
Before?
It's
No,
the
you mean before getting
Steadfast
into the
Baptist
roundabout,
Church. It
stopping
was
is
labeled,
normal.
as I
Or
mentioned
do you mean
earlier,
stopping in the
as a hate group
roundabout?
by the Southern Poverty Law
Because my
Center.
understanding is you're not supposed to
Now,
stop
the
in the
Steadfast
roundabout.
Baptist Church is part of a nationwide network.
This is nice.
Of
I missed the
almost
name of it though.
30
In the
independent
roundabout?
Baptist churches associated
I had
with
no idea. I
Stephen
thought that was
Henderson,
not kosher.
who founded Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. Now, he gained notoriety back in 2009 for saying in a sermon that he prayed for the death of President Barack Obama.
Yeah,
By the
I
way,
mean-
is this a tax exempt?
Oh, I don't.
Church?
Oh, that's
I'd
right.
like
I'm
to know.
saving up for a garage.
And he was also criticized by the Anti-Defamation League back in 2014 for what they call his history of anti-Semitism. And I'm inclined to believe.
Do you want me
the
to go that way and then turn
Anti-Defamation
around in the
League,
roundabout?
on
No,
their
that's
take
that's
here
that's
when
not
it comes
okay.
to this individual, the person who founded the church that I mentioned earlier.
A roundabout is still a
But
road. If you can stop on the
point that I
road,
also
why
want to make is
why can't you stop in a roundabout?
think about how much energy it takes to hate
Because you're in the left lane.
even just one person, right? It takes a lot
You
of
can't-
energy. It takes even more energy.
can't stop
to dedicate
in the
your
left
life
lane to make a
hating an
right-hand
entire
turn.
Group of people, and it's all you think about. You're like foaming at the mouth,
Or at least you're
you
not
know,
supposed to.
fantasizing about these people getting murdered or shot dead. I mean, it's just.
At least here in
and-
America, you're
and
not supposed to.
I genuinely think that in order to have that kind of hatred for innocent people in your heart, you hate yourself. You hate yourself. You're engaging in something in your personal life that you feel deep guilt about, and you lash out.
Turn
by
on the signal
moralizing about
and then
other
drive
people.
out.
You lash out by spreading hate toward other groups of people, and in this case,
That sounds
disenfranchised
terrifying.
People, powerless people who have been persecuted in this country.
So
and around the
so
world
stop in the roundabout,
forever.
in the left lane,
And so
turn
I
on
do
your
think
right
it's the
turn
tip of the
signal,
iceberg because
turn
there's
across
gotta
the
be
right lane
more
to
going
exit.
on
Is what you're
than
saying. That's what
just,
I'm supposed to do?
Oh, I slept
I need to
with
fix my map.
sex workers and I even smoked a little weed. He resigned, which, and this is me speculating, I want to be clear. He resigned, which makes me think he was forced to resign. Someone within the church probably knew he was up to something even worse. And they did a video where he apologized and did the resignation. They took the video down, which is very curious. I wonder why they did that. But I don't know, man. I think there's more going on. And this is who these people are. They have hatred in their hearts for others because really at the end of the day, I
If you
think
messed
they
up
hate
the lines, then
themselves
yes.
and they feel guilty about whatever it is that they're doing behind the scenes.
Frightening.
Yeah,
That
first of all,
seems
religion
very
is
frightening
not
to
an
me.
excuse to hate people. So if you think it is, oh no, it's
But okay.
okay. My
Let's try it
religious
next
text
time and
written
see if people
2,000
complain.
years ago,
Well, maybe not next time.
2,500 years
I might just
ago,
forget next time.
I think.
But we'll
by a
try it. We'll
dude
see what
or
happens.
A set of dudes, I think, tells me that it's okay to hate gay people. That they should have less rights than us. They shouldn't be allowed to get married. We shouldn't even speak their names in public schools in Florida. We should, etc. Number one, I don't care about your goddamn religion, and it doesn't give you any free pass at all. No, none, zero. Yeah, but God said it. I don't care. I don't care that you think that the invisible man in the sky said it, so you're allowed to discriminate against fellow Americans. You're not. So I don't like it's they're so weird to me. They're like, oh, my fantasy football magazine says it's okay. I can hate gay people. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's in the book. It's in the book.
God. You
right?
have a fantasy football magazine. Do you pay for that?
Of course. And it says, no. Who cares what your book says? I don't care at all.
Garage
At all.
Manager.
So what did the Norse say? What did the Aztecs say? I don't
meant
care.
Purchase
Anyway.
garage is what I meant. In any case, it's
So-
better not
Okay.
better not to stop, but
the
no one will
fantasy
forbid you
football
to slow
magazine,
down.
What does it cover? Like, what are the articles about? Like, what?
You're going to be shocked to find out. Running back.
Achievement
wide
unlocked the
receivers,
Sicilian?
Mhm.
Wait, the Sicilian?
quarterback.
Fantasy quarterbacks or like real quarterbacks?
That's such a great question. If you don't
Hold
know
on,
fantasy
what?
football. I never even thought about it that way. They're like, forget the real quarterbacks.
The Sicilian.
Let's talk
I
about
own every garage in
fantasy quarterbacks. Who do you
own every garage in
fantasize about?
Sicilian
That's
City.
probably
Wait, Sicilian
that's
isn't just the
probably
name for
fantasy
Italy?
football magazine
It's
that
the
kicks
island?
your ass.
Oh, because that's the
Well,
island
I
of
gave you
Sicily,
the
you
full
dumbass.
offense.
Oh, God, I only needed to buy 3 garages. I am an idiot.
No, it's
Oh,
quarterbacks,
I
real
made a
players,
D in
and their
geography.
stats, so you know
I
who's
made
fit.
D in
Anyways,
geography.
Back to
God damn
the
it.
serious issue.
I misunderstood
Look, guys,
that achievement.
These churches
I thought I had to buy
nuts,
all of the... I
as
thought
you
that
can
was
tell
too
from
much,
not all churches. I'm
buying
talking
all the
about these
warehouses in Italy.
that
And it was,
take
apparently.
advantage of.
I was
Right.
only supposed to be buying them
I don't
on the
know
island
that
of
they would
Sicily.
tell them to step
The
down
Sicilian
to use
warehouses.
that
Damn
for
it.
children. Okay, that's so the only thing they
So
care
stupid.
about is it gay? Is it gay?
Well,
Is it
ignorant.
gay? Right?
Not stupid.
So
So ignorant.
they did not name the gender of the product.
Oh my god.
So look, it's all about self-hate.
Gabber says,
And so
I was always
it doesn't
taught
mean
that
everybody
if you
who
don't know
does
what
it
to
is
do,
gay.
just
Of
stop
course
and turn
not,
on the
right?
emergency
There's
lights.
plenty
You will
of
go
hateful
around and you will
street
do
people all
what you
over the
wanted.
country,
We are
unfortunately.
human. We can make
But
mistakes.
I'm sick of the double standard where Biden can't say
That's true, but-
fascist about a quarter of Republicans.
You
and
might
the
still
other
get in
side
trouble
can
with the
say,
law.
"Yeah, let's mow down gay people. Or let's hate on
I
gay
used to do
people.
stuff with my
If
caution
somebody
lights on that I
wants
thought
to
was
kill them,
appropriate
oh,
until I
gee,
got
was
pulled
that part
over.
of our ideology? No, you took it too far, right? No.
And
This
I got a
is-
ticket.
If your ideology is based on hatred, you own it.
I mean, I could see the
Well,
argument I was driving
let's,
dangerously,
move
though,
off this
to be
story
fair.
And talk a little bit
Um,
about what's happening.
but at the
in
same time, I
Florida
didn't
with
really have a
cop
choice.
Who, well, there's evidence that he grew up a teenager, but he's not facing any charges. A 43-year-old cop by the name of Bobby Lubrito from
Bobby
Newport
Lubrito, what a
Richey,
name.
Florida, allegedly sexually assaulted a teenage girl. He got fired as a result of that.
Really
He won't
weird.
be facing any criminal charges.
Oh,
Let me just
okay.
reiterate. There is evidence indicating that he exploited an underage teenage girl, and while he got fired, which is almost impossible to do with a cop in this country,
Right.
he's not facing any criminal charges because the higher-ups have alleged that there's no probable cause, even though there is some evidence. So let's get to the details. I want to break it down. So as I mentioned earlier,
So,
this is Bobby Lubrito.
I need to go back to
He
Italy.
allegedly lifted up the teen's
I need to go.
shirt and bra.
I need to go to
and
Rome
then
the other
proceeded
direction.
to grope her breasts while she was handcuffed, according to an internal report obtained
I
by
think-
Tampa Bay Times. Okay,
I
and
think that's the only.
WGSP.
I think that's the only
He was looking
achievement
at
I
a
have
photo
left
of
is to
him.
go through Rome
Before
from
we
the
get
one
into
direction
how
I
he
haven't
was
gone through
reprimanded,
Rome.
Here are a few more details on what he did, allegedly. According to a police report, the girl was a juvenile runaway. The cop here was assigned to transport her between a hospital for medical clearance and the juvenile detention center on July 13th. Now, during the ride, he
Timber
took her
turtle.
phone
I
away
like
from
it.
her and found intimate pictures
I
of
like
her,
it. I like that logo.
dancing and naked.
Hello, Ratchet.
The girl
Welcome
told
to the party.
detectives That Lubrito admitted
There will
he was
be a
really
Twitch
trying to
interaction
see
video
what
game that
your
I will be playing on
breasts
Friday
look like,
and Saturday.
and, he
Just
didn't
putting
use
that
the
out
word
there.
breasts. He even hit a deer while looking at the pictures on her phone while he was driving. After that, he allegedly tried to bribe her with half a sandwich. Lubrito gave the girl half of his sandwich to eat, but afterward told her that, quote, the sandwich wasn't free, the girl told investigators.
Oh my
Then he
god, that's so
started groping her
disgusting.
breasts and other
Oh, trigger warning for the news, by the way.
Lubrito also allegedly pulled up a picture of the girl's mother, and asked her if she would want to have a threesome, and told the girl that he would come to her house to check up on her, which is freaking terrifying.
What the fuck?
Considering what a creep this guy is. Now, after the allegation, he ended up getting fired. Okay, so he's been with the Newport Richey Police Department for more than 5 years. He's been a cop for over 10 years. And while he lost his job, they've decided we're not going to file any charges against him. Newport Richey Police Chief
Yeah,
Kim
but if you don't,
Bogart,
he could just get hired as a cop somewhere
who
else.
initially said the girl's story was unfathomable, told WTSP that he had, quote, had a preponderance of evidence, but I didn't have probable cause to charge Lubrito. Okay, so Jake, I don't know, maybe I'm misunderstanding what probable cause is, okay? But if you have evidence, how do you then argue there's no probable cause? Can you explain that to me?
Now, the evidence could be insufficient. That is possible. Excuse me. But he said the girl's charges were unfathomable.
I'm in big trouble with the
not
police?
Sure what he means
or
by
the
that.
guy...
Unfathomable as in, like, unbearable?
Guy
Or
on
he just didn't
the news
believe
is
her?
not in
Like,
trouble
it
with the
could be
police because he was the
either
police.
Interpretation, right? But by the end, he certainly believes her, and he fires.
Oh, and Chocobo's here.
And he has a preponderance of the evidence. But he says,
It's one thing for a guy like to slip through the cracks and somehow get hired, but for that to happen without consequences or accountability is
disgusting. If you already
disgusting.
fired the guy, you were positive.
I mean,
that he
it's
did
pretty
it,
common
you
here in
fired
America.
him, then almost by definition, you have probable cause.
In fact, a lot of cops, like I was just saying, if they did something terrible and they got fired from their job, they can just move to a different county and get rehired as a cop in a different county, regardless of what terrible thing they did.
Admit to breaking protocol.
It happens a lot.
What does that mean? What does that mean? And by the way, let's just note, this is important. The reason why it's difficult to fire police in this country is because they have incredibly powerful representation through the police unions. So
All right, we got single lane roundabout.
To allow him to get fired.
Welcome to the party, Chocobo.
It doesn't.
You should also be made aware that there will be a game I will be playing this Friday and Saturday, which will have Twitch participation in case you want to show up and interact with the game while I am playing it.
We can't. There's no probable cause. I'm not buying that for a second, obviously. But what about the prosecutors?
All right, we are
I'd like to
going
hear from the
32 miles an hour.
prosecutors.
Do
What
we
do they
make it?
think?
Ooh, it was close.
So,
We made it.
Anna,
In Russia, if you
I hear
get
from
fired from the
Republicans all
police,
the
then
time
you will
that
never
they
get
are
into the police
really
again.
worried
Oh, that
about
is
China's
absolutely not what happens here in America.
And QAnon talks about
Not
it,
at all.
all the right wingers talk about
That's
it. Oh
probably
my
how
God,
it should be.
pedophile rings, etc. And I hear that they now don't trust law enforcement because it went after Donald Trump, so all law enforcement is bad. Well, here's a law enforcement guy who is molesting an underage girl. So Republicans, go get him. Nothing. Sound of silence, right? Because they don't actually care about any of those issues. And so, since he's a cop, in their mind, FBI bad investigates, high-level elites, and we love the elites. We don't want the FBI to go after them. Cops beat up.
I mean,
poor
it's
people,
part of the reason I
black
watch
people, black people,
TYT and
brown people.
other
We like that.
progressive
Cops
news
do it.
outlets is because
So he's molesting a
regular news
underage
doesn't
girl.
talk about this
Come
stuff.
on,
you'll be
Blue
fired
Lives
with the
Matter.
utmost disgrace,
Blue
and then they will
lives.
show it on local
Blue
news
don't
how bad you are.
prosecute.
Oh,
Where
that
are
sounds
you guys?
amazing.
Why aren't you screaming bloody
That
murder
is
about it?
definitely a way
It's
in
never
which
been
Russia
any
is
news.
better than America.
And
America
so,
doesn't do any of
look,
that.
it's
That
absolutely
sounds like
outrageous.
exactly what you should
And
fucking do.
If anyone else did what he did, they would be in massive. Imagine a dentist that does it to a patient. Massive trouble.
Massive trouble.
A construction guy does it to somebody walking by, right? A cop does it. They're like, "Well, he got fired. Isn't that enough?" No, it's
not enough.
You don't get to break the law just because you're a cop. But they genuinely think that way. They think they're a gang, and that they're
They are a gang.
powerful gang, and then they can
Police
do anything they want. And not
Work
be
is a
held
very
accountable.
important job.
And unfortunately,
I can see
time
why you
after
were
time,
concerned
they're
about
proven right.
the drugs
That
and
guy's
criminal
not gonna go to
system
jail.
previously
He's
in
gonna
the
go-
earlier conversation, Gaffer, because it sounds like your
Just to be
police
clear,
might actually work like our
he should
police
go to
should
jail.
and definitely don't.
It's like, Yeah,
Of course.
that's where he belongs.
It's not even. It's not
Our
even a
police
close
are
question, guys.
militarized. They've got
Mine is
military gear.
Cops get to do things that no one else does.
Um,
And I love this
they're asked to
comment
do
so
lots
much by
of
one our members. In
procedures that
Uvalde,
they
said, "Put
shouldn't have to."
400 of any other profession outside that
And
school, and they bum rush the school. Dentists, plumbers, accountants, it doesn't matter. They'll all go in. Teachers, nurses, they'll all go in to save the kids. The only profession that won't is cops, right? Put any other profession and that goes and finds a teenage girl, handcuffs her, and then gropes her. Right?
a lot of them are
Lifts
just
up her shirt and then gropes her, etc. You're gonna
criminals
go to
with
jail.
badges or
Because
white
cops,
supremacists with
nope,
badges.
I don't have to protect you, and I'm above the law.
It's pretty bad.
It's ridiculous.
It is. All right,
Ratchet.
well,
Oh, that's right.
we'll
Ratchet has
break.
Canadian
When we come
police.
back,
How are
it
the
turns
Canadian
out
police,
that
Ratchet?
Alex Jones,
Hopefully better than
who
American
is
police.
Constantly talking about the surveillance state. They're spying on us. The deep state. Turns out he really likes to spy himself, and we'll tell you who he's been spying on when we return.
I can't believe I wasn't doing that Sicilian
Today's day 2 of,
achievement.
Member Appreciation
Reason I
Week.
started picking all
So
those
today
places
we
to
got
the far south in
new
Italy is
member
because
hats in,
I knew I was going to have to
you
scroll
already
down to
joined,
get to
become a
them.
member, TYT.com/join,
So I was trying to pick the furthest
or
ones so
hit
that they
the,
get
join button
eliminated
on
quicker
YouTube.
for the scrolling.
Once
And I
you're a
just
member,
happened to be
go
picking all the
TYT.com/join
ones
so you
on
can figure out how to buy
Sicily.
The windbreaker from yesterday, the hat from today. God bless. Okay. Shetland Gremlin writes
Gaffer
in on
says,
Twitch,
come on,
"There's
our
a
police
series
officers almost
of,
never have
compounding
weapons other than a
yikes,
baton."
about this story
Seriously,
about
that sounds like
cops.
Japan.
SK09 says,
There's always a
"Minimum
gun in the
needs
police
to be
car,
put
but
on
no
the
one
sex
takes it."
offenders list." No,
Oh,
cops are
that
above
sounds
the law,
so
and
good,
Republicans
dude.
are above-
That sounds
above
so
the law.
good.
So,
No.
you know what?
Police,
Color me,
basically in America, every police
90
officer
for
has a
not
gun,
realizing that
and then
decades
very often they
But
will have a
that's-
shotgun or something bigger
apparently-
in the trunk.
America's
Okay,
never been about
I'm on the
justice.
right side.
It's always been about
Claremont
protect
Fernand discovered.
right-wingers and their armed guards.
Bon Voyage 24 of
Andrew Jack
31.
O'Brien says, "I love that Anna's more horrified by the football magazine than the pastor."
Checkwood says, I guess the main
No,
argument
no,
against
please
public
don't get
shaming like
twisted.
that is
I'm
that it can be
definitely more
abused
horrified
easily.
by the pastor, but,
And in this day and age, public
like, do
shaming
you
is
get that
almost worse
magazine
than
for
jail
free?
time.
Like, is it like a little
Dude,
favor or
what the hell is
something?
worse
No.
than jail
Well,
time? What are you
first of all,
talking
I'll
about?
make you feel worse. My son bought it for me, so.
Oh, come on, Jank. God damn it. I will allow it. I will allow it. I'll stop making fun of you now.
I've been getting it for 25, 30 years.
Oh, okay, great.
yeah.
I'm judging you then.
Okay.
I'm judging you
No,
then.
but I love the idea that you thought it was like quarterbacks that don't even exist. They're like, oh, this one's an elven quarterback. This one is a dwarf quarterback. Oh, this was a dragon.
I mean, that's
I
proper
just-
fantasy
I
football,
just
Shank.
have
Of
a
course you're going to have
difficulty
fantasy characters.
Processing that there's an entire
Nerds! If you play
dedicated
fantasy
to
football, you are a
And, like, is it a
nerd.
monthly or a weekly?
Are you crazy? No. There's tons of them. There's dozens of them.
Oh my god. Oh my. I gotta take a drink of water. I'll be back.
Okay, Mandy2341 also says, that just made my day, Anna, about what you said about the magazine. Mashed Taters writes in, 100% I do not
Mashed
care if
taters,
consenting
tasty.
adults participate in adult activities, but if you want to shame and blame people for sinning, then hell yes, we will hold you to the same standard, referring to the pastor. Metal Kitty Mom says, if we smoking weed's a sin, I'm gonna need like a 15-year supply
Well,
of holy water.
Also, to your point, Chocobo, think of it not like public shaming. Think of it more like public awareness. Like, you should be aware when a police officer became,
whether anyone here is
did something
religious or not.
dishonorable and got
We just want
evicted
to
from the
improve lives
force.
of every decent American. Yes,
I think that
I
should
love
be,
that. I love that
you should
about
be made aware
the
when that
network
happens and
our
that
community.
police are keeping things on the up and up because we're not going to have those type of people in our organization, yada yada.
I'm so freaking excited for Nina's show. So am I. Okay, so it's Nina Turner's show.
Tech,
It's
how do
on
you
Boss. It starts
how
on
do you
October
show up for
17th.
stream and then get
You gotta
ads?
Subscribe now. Go to youtube.com.
I mean, I haven't run ads in a little while, and I got to run them soon.
You'll
But
love it. Or you can go to our website right there. You see the.
but I'm almost at my destination. So
On Boss TYT.
Welcome back,
It's gonna
Tech.
be a great show. Speaking of getting
you are
sick,
here.
What? That's the handle of the person on YouTube Super Chat who was super.
We were
generous
talking about
and
the
we super
police
appreciate
because it was on the
And you lived up
news.
to your
And if
handle.
anybody wants me to stop the news, just ask. All right, found a recruitment agency.
Speaking of Super Chat, let's stay there. Fareso Montero says, "Can we just take a second to appreciate?"
When I
the
say
idea
wham,
of
it stands
fantasy
for wait a
football where
minute.
the players
Oh.
are all fantasy races like elves and orcs.
I took that to mean, wham, you got ads. Like, in your face, you got ads.
Because
both could apply.
Every show writes in on Super Chat. Your hair looks great today, Jank. Look, I'm not saying.
It does. It really does look great.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Nailing it.
Yeah, look, the people are talking about it. That's all I can say. Um, okay.
that
Gaffer
a
says,
chitter
without a
chatter?
reason
That's
to
the chitter
Chocobo,
chatter,
no one
literally the
will
chitter
show
chatter going on.
anyone on
Okay,
TV. But if you
what's
fucked up that
next?
badly, then you must understand what you
We've
can
got
expect.
some
Sure.
updates on what Alex Jones has been up to. Turns out, according to
Oh, you went to the
reporting
beach.
from
Nice.
Rolling Stone, Alex Jones
I haven't been to the beach in a long time.
deployed an army of spies to keep tabs on his
Okay.
ex-wife.
I am in the middle.
and his,
I'm in the left lane.
current wife, and we know this because, as we had reported earlier, Alex Jones's attorneys had
Oh, we're talking about Alex
um,
Jones. That'll be fun.
conducted the biggest foible of trials of all time, where they accidentally sent a digital copy of his entire cell phone to plaintiffs' attorneys. And
It's
through
pretty
that,
hilarious.
we learned all sorts of things, including the fact that Alex Jones had sent a nude photo of his current wife to Roger Stone. But now we're also learning
We're
that
doing pretty
he
good.
had
We're
used
talking
spies
we're
to
talking
keep
news
tabs on
apparently
his
because the
ex-wife
news
and
is
his
playing
current
while I'm
wife.
driving.
So the texts describe extensive surveillance during his multi-year custody battle with his ex-wife. Her name is
I have
Kelly
one
Jones,
achievement left in Italy, so I think I'm going to head back
information on
that
her
direction.
activities, her whereabouts, and this is according to 3 people who are
Might
familiar
require
with the matter.
Driving
and
off-road in
spoke
my
to
truck,
Rolling
going the
Stone
wrong way on the
about this
highway. That would be
incident,
pretty
about this
entertaining, but it would get me the
situation, and
achievement.
even read out loud what some of the text messages said.
Whoa, hold on. Where is
They
this telling me to
included
go?
dates when they shared these text messages with Rolling Stone reporters. One of the sources also says that Alex Jones's ex-wife
I'm going over
was being
there.
monitored by a ragtag
I was very confused for a
spy
second.
ring of human intelligence. And Kelly Jones, understandably, is shaken by this. And look, to be fair to Kelly Jones, she's been trying to get the word out about the abusive
Some people might show up in
treatment
chat
she has
and
been
try to troll
dealing
me and
with,
be all like,
when it comes
"You're
to
not
Alex
playing this
Jones." And
game
she said
seriously."
this
I'm
to
like,
Rolling Stone. Alex is
I've put
obsessed with me,
180
has had me
hours into
followed
just
for
this game,
years,
not
has
American
done
Truck Simulator.
everything to infringe
I'm
on my
taking it
liberties
pretty
and
seriously.
personal freedom, to impose himself into my life. She also
Always
said,
room for
quote,
improvement.
"My life is a gauntlet of waiting for his next
good.
nefarious
I have
or
headphones on, so I'm not able to hear right now.
disingenuous or
Well, I
overtly
mean, that
threatening
happens.
move. I'm not surprised to find out that he's engaged in this activity. I would really like to find out the extent to which this has occurred and if it's even legal." And I don't know whether what he's done is legal.
Didn't realize
or not,
competitive
but
Euro
I do
Truck
know that not
existed.
Only did he decide to spy on his ex-wife, he
Um,
also spied on his current wife, and I'll give you details to that in just a second, James.
I mean, they do have,
But I just want you
um,
to keep in mind,
like,
Alex Jones is a guy.
they do
who
have
talks
races.
about
It's
the
true.
Deep state,
For the
government
truck
surveillance.
fronts.
Seems like he's a big fan of
The
surveillance
cabs.
when he's the one doing it.
Yeah. So on the show, we talk a lot about projection and how the right wing does it. And this is an excellent example of it. And so this is a very common psychological phenomenon, and it's real. That's exactly what they're doing. Whatever's in their heads, they assume is in everybody else's heads.
No one can stop
right?
me.
And that's part of human nature, too. So since Alex Jones is surveilling apparently everybody in his life, like, oh, my ex-wife, my current
Oh,
wife,
shit, red
what
light.
are they up to? I don't know. They're probably with other men who are much more attractive than me and who probably have way more Instaheart than I do. And so I got to track them, etc. So he assumes that everybody else is tracking
Hi,
him.
Molly. Stream is doing pretty good.
Nobody's
There's
tracking you, dude.
the most viewers I've had in
So,
weeks
and
simultaneously
then,
right now.
Remember,
We got
this whole
Gaffer,
thing
we
is
got
conspiracy.
Chocobo, we got Tech, we got Captain Soja
this
is,
kind
I
of a
think,
conspiracy.
got it running somewhere.
And so,
You're here.
He's doing conspiracy.
My listing on my thing says 8,
By the way, he used
and I can only hope as many people show up when I start playing Cult of the Lamb on Friday.
Those are heavy duty bad guys. And
Yes, everyone. Yes,
so
after 4 hours of stream,
using
everyone
their
came.
services
Keeping
to
in mind
spy
that
on people
it's
in
like
their personal life.
it's
exactly
after
the
midnight
kind of
where
thing
Gaffer
he
is,
warns
so there's
people
that.
the government's going to do. And if you, unless
Ratchet, I'm sorry. I was like,
Jones
I'm missing
fan,
at least
like
2
Joe
people when I
Rogan,
say all that. Ratchet
none
is
of
here. I
this
think I
is
said
remote
Ratchet, but I might not have
Of
said
course he
Ratchet.
does this.
So I also want to just mention
Oh,
that back
well, that's
in
not really after
2021,
midnight anymore, is it,
after
Gaffer?
a
That's
judge
more like a
ordered
little
Alex
before
Jones
dawn.
to stay away from his ex-wife.
It's kind of
He
a different
hired
category.
helicopter to circle over his ex-wife.
Well, welcome back from work, Molly.
And his ex-wife said that the act terrified their daughter, and obviously, I mean, I would be terrified if I were his ex-wife. And the text revealed that Alex Jones had enlisted Tim Enlow, a former Blackwater mercenary, on his security detail to track his wife. And that's his current wife, by the way. So I don't know why he's tracking his current wife. Sometime in 2019,
You still depressed
Jones
with a
hired
smiley
private
face?
investigator
That's
to follow
contradictory, Molly,
his
but
wife,
okay.
Wolf Jones.
I'm sorry to hear that you're still depressed.
The private investigator called police to report Alex Jones's concern that his current wife may have been suicidal.
I hope
and
that
intoxicated.
hanging out with us in chat
Police arrested her
brings an
and charged
actual
her
smile
with
to your
driving while
smiley face.
intoxicated, and she's actually still awaiting trial on that whole case. Her name is Erica Wolf Jones, and she's also the one who, didn't know that her husband sent a nude photo of her to Roger Stone. We found out about that as a result of that whole, phone foible that was committed by
When
his
you're
own
depressed, you order
attorneys.
pizza. When I am depressed,
Yeah,
I
mean,
usually
actually,
go
we found out
for
about it,
Krispy
first
Kreme
when you were doing the
donuts.
interview with the attorney
Prob-
against him in the
You know what?
case,
Neither of what we have
and,
said is a
and he
proper,
said,
healthy
yeah,
response,
one of
Chocobo,
some
to
of
be
the
fair.
text messages were him
When I'm feeling
sending
sick, however, I
pictures of
play
his
video
wife
games
to Roger
because
Stone.
they take my mind off
And
my
then, his
sickness
wife, that's his
and
current
allow my
wife,
body to heal. It's like
when asked
going into a
about it
meditative
by
state.
reporters after you broke the story, she was like, "No, I didn't know that, and yes, that bothers me." Of course, he's doing every shady thing behind the scenes, just like he says the government does.
I just realized
He's
that
such a
Tech and
fraud.
Chocobo have the same
One of
color
our members, George,
text.
made a great point.
All
I
right,
love
let's see
doing the
here.
show with you guys. Come join us.
Oh, yeah.
tyt.com/join. If you're on YouTube,
That's
hit the join
true,
button
Tech.
below.
I wasn't going
So
to mention
George,
why you would also
said
be
if
depressed.
Alex Jones has money to pay an army of
On this rare
surveillance
occasion,
people,
I am the
he has
one on
money to
stream
pay
who is
the
not
victims,
depressed, but that's just
he
because
can
it's
pay.
not October or
That's
November
exactly what I was
yet.
thinking. When Anna said helicopter, I was like, "You got money?
I get it
hire
bad
a
at the end of the year.
helicopter to just
Not for any
surveil your
particular
wife
reason.
or ex-wife for a day, and you're telling these guys, "Oh no, I ran out of Instacart. I didn't have
Oh,
enough money to
Molly
pay you guys.
says,
I went bankrupt."
my
No,
job
you
just
didn't.
got dissolved and now I have to go back to
And
super
guys, if
adversary
he's
work.
lying
It
about
sucks
all
because
of
I'm going
this,
from maybe
you're really
talking for
sure
an
he's
hour
not
whole
lying
days to
about
talking
the
for 8
hate
hours
bombs
straight,
and
so
the
my voice is
aliens
gone at the
and
end of
the-
every shift and my
the
social
crisis
anxiety is through the
actors and
roof.
every other insane
Well, that doesn't
conspiracy
sound good,
theory.
Molly.
And Anna, look, I mentioned Rogan
So-
there in passing, but the Rogans and the Tim Pools. If
Are you
know
looking
all this
for
stuff
looking
and
for
you
work
still
elsewhere?
Support this guy, and you encourage people to watch him.
Yeah, do you have the
It's
benefit of being able to
disqualifying,
look
man.
for work
You're saying
elsewhere?
I'm not a legitimate person. I'm a goofball. I'm an idiot, and I don't mind deceiving my audience and misleading them completely.
Well, I want to do one more story before we go to break, and this has to do with Tucker Carlson's decision to basically lie to his audience repeatedly about what actually transpired on January 6th. So let's do it. Tucker Carlson, much like other right-wing
48 degrees
media
outside.
pundits,
Hey,
has
check in,
decided
check
to
out, 1 of 8.
whitewash what took place in our
I'm
nation's
sorry?
capital on January
I don't know that
6th,
one.
when Trump supporters
Let
decided
me
to
pause the news
riot
and look it up.
in the nation's capital.
I should have that on my big list of things. Check in, check out. Check in. Of course you're going to search the wrong direction. Why don't you search every direction? Wait, what? Why isn't this listed? Hold on. Check in, check out. Delivered to our all cargo airport terminals in France. Oh. Okay, hold on. I will misspell France. Check in, check out. Okay. So I have delivered to Clermont Ferrand. Okay. So I think it said 1 of 5, so I need to do the other ones. All right. Hey Molly, we might be finishing Italy tonight, but for everybody who's watching later on YouTube, I would like to thank you for watching. This has been Euro Truck Simulator 2, presented by Improvision Entertainment. My name has been Hunterman, and if you ever want to catch me live like all of these lovely people who are down below me here on screen, then you can do so at twitch.tv/Hunterman. Otherwise, I will see you in the future.